What's going on, guys? I'm caught in traffic here. It's boring, and I want you guys to keep me company. Is that cool? Alright, good. Thank you. So I want to talk about a topic that one of my viewers suggested, and that is motorcycle etiquette and jargon. That's what we're going to try to talk about, but we'll probably be all over the map like I normally am. In case you're not sure what jargon is, it's essentially a topic or words or abbreviations or ideas that are used within a certain organization, community, whatever. So in this case, we're talking about motorcycle stuff, motorcycle topics, motorcycle words, abbreviations that are used within the motorcycle community, but not so much outside of the motorcycle community. And that's what I'm referring to when I say motorcycle jargon. One form of jargon, I suppose, when referring to motorcycles, if you're on Reddit, you'll definitely know what this means. It's an abbreviation. It's ATG, ATGAT. And what that stands for is all the gear, all the time. Motorcycle enthusiasts, motorcycle riders are all, the majority of them anyway, are all very insistent that you gear up at all times and protect yourself. We want you riding longer. We want to, we all want to be as safe as possible as we can. Does that even make sense? We want to be as safe as possible while we're on the road with these giant vehicles around us, right? And that's I'm not going to say that my gear is going to protect me from that, but it will protect me from the pavement, that's for sure. And ATG, ATT, all the gear all the time. If you're not wearing all the gear all the time, you might be known as a squid. Now, most people have heard that term before, squid, and everybody has a kind of a different personal meaning to the word. Like a lot of people consider riders who don't wear all their gear squids, and I definitely agree with that. I also consider people who are riding at ridiculous speeds and doing wheelies down the highway and all that stuff squids. New riders who start off on a bike that's way too big for them, squid. It's essentially, to me, it means it's like a show off. People who ride outside their comfort zones, people who are trying to look cool by not wearing all their gear all the time, riding around in their muscle shirts, showing off their biceps. They're squids. Then there's the countersteering, which a lot of people have heard about as well. And what countersteering is, if you aren't familiar with it, is basically the concept that when I'm going with forward momentum, so I'm going, let's say, over 35 kilometers an hour, whatever that works out to be in miles, basically, if I want the bike to go right, I'm going to pull in on my left handlebar or push out on my right. So essentially I'm turning my wheel left to turn the bike right, and vice versa. And that's a good one that I get people going with. People who don't ride motorcycles are like, oh, they think it's easy, and I'll whip out the countersteering bit just to throw them off and get them all confused. It's really not a big deal. It's not hard at all. You actually just do it without even knowing it, but it's fun to throw people off anyway. That's what countersteering is. It doesn't apply at like really low speeds in parking lots and stuff. Once you get to higher speeds, though, that's like even right now, if I pull in on the right handlebar, I'll turn left, I push out, and I turn right. This is what's causing all the commotion. Just this. Everybody has such a hard time going down to 2 lanes instead of 3. Another one you may have heard of, it's called, or you may not have heard of, it's called target fixation. And this doesn't only apply to motorcycles, it applies to vehicle, like cars as well. But essentially what that is when you're going around turns, or even when you're just riding in general, you will typically go where you're looking. Your bike will go where you are looking. Okay, and so the idea is that if I'm going around a left bend, I want to be kind of looking around the bend, and then my bike will follow, sort of thing. Now that's obviously nothing to do with the bike itself and everything to do with the rider, but that's what we always do. It's the same thing, again, it's the same thing with cars. You know, if well, here's a classic example. If there's a police cruiser on the side of the highway and they have somebody pulled over with their flashing lights on, their emergency lights, that's very dangerous for police to do, because those lights, especially at night, those lights catch everybody's eyes, and you know, it's bittersweet because it tells them, hey, I'm here, watch out, great, but it also captures their attention. She's texting. Anyway, so the lights also capture the driver's attention, and it's hard for them not to focus on it, and they slowly go toward the light, obviously subconsciously, hopefully, and that's target fixation. And you know, going around sharp corners and everything, it's very very common for riders to hit a guardrail or to go off the road, because they're focused so heavily on the guardrail and not to hit it that's where they go. So you obviously, like, as you're going around a turn, you kind of want to look down it as you're going. I really want to get in the back of this van and see what's going on in there. Monster Energy, I love it. That has nothing to do with, you know, the typical, oh, you ride a sport bike and you love Monster, stickers all over your stuff. No, I'm obsessed with the drinks themselves. These people are cagers, they're cagers, this is a cager. People who aren't on two wheels, essentially. Anybody who's in a car is considered a cager. Why, do you ask? I'm sure you can figure it out. They're in a big, comfortable cage. And it's not right, to be honest, it's not right for motorcycle riders to hate on cars. We choose to do this. Right, so we can't complain that, oh, it's too hot out, or it's too cold out, or look at you in your nice air-conditioned cage, your nice heated cage. In my opinion, that's not what it's all about. Because again, this is by choice. Nobody's forcing me to ride a bike. To me, where the cager comment comes in is that a lot of drivers, and I'm not gonna stereotype and say all drivers, but when you start to ride a motorcycle, you observe a lot more. You have to, right? So you always know what's going on all around you, and you notice how many drivers don't. They're so, you know, omnidirectional. They look, you know, they only know what's going on in front of them, or wherever they're looking at the time. They would be the ones who are really bad for target fixation, in my opinion, but they're not observant. They're not focused like they should be. You know, they're texting at the red lights, and they're just not paying attention. They're putting everybody else's life in danger, including ourselves, but not limited to ourselves. And that's what gets me cursing at cagers, is that you know, like, a lot of their actions can affect other people, not just themselves, and that's pretty selfish. And I've heard a couple of them make comments, well, it's your choice to ride a motorcycle, not mine. And that kind of pisses me off, because of course it's my choice to ride a motorcycle. There's a lot of other people who are choosing to ride a motorcycle, but we shouldn't be, you know, like, we shouldn't be put at risk based on your actions. Regardless of the choices that we're making, if we're going to do it responsibly and safely, that shouldn't be affected. That Monster van got me wanting one. Oh, wouldn't make it very far without that. Yeah, have a good day.